Good. Stars. Right. Check. I hope my audio is not bad. I am recording from these wired earphones. Right. How to plan like a pro. Planning, noob to pro. So it's about daily planning, noob to pro. Right. Map out your future. Read the reference. Either you get conscious about your future. No. Either you get conscious and steer your future. Either you get conscious and steer your future, or you submit to past habits and stay the same your whole life. Here's my framework of planning/mapping, as I call it, out your future as you would like. And I think planning is going to make your life so much better, and it's going to make every single hour of your day productive in the sense that you will be very intentional about what you're doing, and in the end you will just get to do what you want with your time, right? Probably, if you don't work a job. So I'm going to leave you with 3 basic frameworks, should I say, to plan out your day. So the first one is going to be, wait, did I not think this through? This is my first talking head video, so just try not to judge, right? So I have 3 frameworks for you. The first one is going to be block out every single hour of the day. Block out every single hour of the day. 90-minute rule. So you're going to be productive for the first 90 minutes of the day. And I'm just going to delete till this part. So I'm going to leave you with 3 basic fundamental is going to block out till this part. So I'm going to leave you with 3 fundamental pillars using which you will be able to plan out your day better. And I think this is very, 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 very essential, because if you plan out your day and you're very intentional about it, you're going to do what you're supposed to do and not what you just feel like doing in that emotional state of your day, right? So let's begin. 1, 2, 3. 3 core pillars. Number 1 would be block out every single hour of your day, and I'll explain. This will hold up. Number 2, the first 90-minute rule, and number 3, retrospection at the end of the day. Right. First, block out every single hour of the day. What this means is that you have to be very, very, very intentional about. I like to use very a lot. So, block out every single hour of the day, which means that you are supposed to block out every single hour of the day, which means you are supposed to be very intentional about every single hour which there is of the day, and you have to intentionally be ready for every single hour. You have to know what you're supposed to do in that hour before that hour comes. and then you'll be prepared, right? So do this with me, right? I have a blank piece of paper here. It's a bit torn there, no worries. And we're going to do something together. And I just repeated myself over and over again because I don't know what to say. Right. Okay. So let's imagine, I hope I'm audible. Let's imagine your day starts here, goes something like this, and ends here. So the first thing you do in the morning, this thing, what do? You wake up. Okay, right, it's in focus. So you wake up. Reasonably, let's say it's like 6. Then this is when you go to bed. So bedtime. 9, let's say, right? You spend a solid 9 hours at bed. Fuck, okay. 9 hours in. Oh, it's so tough to write like this. This small notch. This notch thing. It's annoying. Okay, let me sit properly. Alright. Fuck that. 9 hours in bed. Okay. So you woke up at 6, right? I'm going to teach you something called the first 90-minute rule. 90-minute rule. And then you have your day from, let's say, 7:30. This 90-minute rule is going to be the second part, so just hold up. So 7:30, let's say. Now, I don't eat breakfast, but if you want to, you can eat breakfast. And let's say you take a good 30 minutes in that. So it's 8 a.m. here. Breakfast, right? And then you do whatever the hell you want to do for the next hour. 9 to 9, and then 10, then 11, 12. Now I don't have space here, but it would be again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until 9, right? So ultimately we have to know what we have to do in every single hour of the day. So 8 till 9, what will I be doing? It shouldn't take you like a fucking split second or a heartbeat to answer that. You just have to be ready with the answer for this one. You have to be like, oh, yes, I'm going to script videos. I'm going to edit videos. I'm going to study for the next exams, whatever, right? Same for 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, blah, 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 right? So what's important here is you keep buffer, like, let's say 12, lunchtime, right? Lunchtime is when your energy levels drop. So you are supposed to be doing something else, which is not so productive, but eventually makes you, again, go back to that frequency of productivity, right? You cannot be productive all day, or else you're going to just burn yourself out, right? So around lunchtime, let's say your productivity falls and you don't know what to do. What do? Low energy demanding tasks. That's the best word I can think of. Energy demanding tasks, such as, let's say, walking, let's say, socializing, let's say, what else? A little bit of introspection. Don't have much time after that. And then around the evening, mostly it should be socializing and blah, 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 right? So, first thing we have checked off. Block out. Fucking hell. Block out hours. It's so tough to record with phone, like with my left hand, and then with my right hand at the same time, and look whether this thing is and focus on this thing. Oh my god, it's tough. The life of a YouTuber is tough, especially when you don't have gear to support you. Okay, so blockout hours. First thing, 90-minute rule. Let's get to that. So, as I said, the first 90 minutes, these are fucking sacred, right? Sacred, like, you should worship these first 90 minutes. And you might ask why. It's because your brain is operating at a different frequency, should I say. For the first 90 minutes of the day, you have barely woken up, but you're barely analyzing what's going on in your entire external environment. So your brain is just accepting information around the first 90 minutes of the day, right? And this is a period of time in which you can just program or just, it's harsh to say this, but you can just force your brain to work. And it's very, very, very productive if you've ever tried that. Oftentimes our family and a lot of other shit gets into the way and you cannot do this first 90-minute rule thing. But it is the holy grail of productivity, and it's, I think, what you should be striving for. It doesn't matter when you wake up, but what matters is that as soon as you wake up, you try to get your highest priority task out of the way, right? Something called, eat the frog, if you know. Eat the frog. Right. So basically what it leaves us with is 90-minute rules. The 90-minute rule. The 90 minutes rule. Minute rules? Okay. The 90-minute rule says that you are supposed to work as soon as you wake up on your highest priority task for 90 minutes. Right? Because your brain is operating at a whole fucking different level and you can just understand shit better. Number 3 would be retrospection. So, you wake up, 90 minutes of work, breakfast, let's say, again some work, and then blah, 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 blah. Reach lunchtime, let's say. After lunchtime, you do your other stuff, socializing and shit, because that's important. We're humans, social creatures. But then around 9, let's say, I'll draw that shit again, right? By 9 you have to be in bed, like for sure, in bed, right? You have to have this level of commitment to sleeping, else you're not going to be as productive. So let's say for about an hour, you have free time, right? 8 to 9. So in this free time, you do retrospection. My God, retrospection. Hey, we got that right the first time, right? That was the first time. We ignored this. Okay, retrospection. So you just look at what you did. The whole day. And think, how can I make this better? Tomorrow. And this is a very good question to ask because it is the fundamental crux of you developing as a fucking human being. Every single great person out there in the whole fucking world always ask this question, if not daily, like on a regular basis, right? How do I get better? What is the, what can I even say? What is the thing I have to work on to make myself a better person, a better human being, to raise my stakes, to be on a different level, to become fucking supernatural, to become superhuman, right? So it's just a fundamental thing to ask. And for retrospection, I would recommend that you do this thing, like make this thing called a life tracker or buy one, which I'm going to make a video on soon. And if the video is out, I'll link it below in the description somewhere. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Life tracker. I have thought about a lot of possibilities out there about this life tracker thing. I am planning on selling one myself, like making one myself and then selling it on Amazon. I'll try that. It's going to be fun. And what else? Yeah, so retrospection. About retrospection, at the end of the day, most suitably, if you cannot do it at the end of the day because of some reasons, like me, yesterday I was a bit busy, so I couldn't do it. I did it today morning. So at the end of the day, or in the morning, if you miss the end of the day thing, first thing in the morning, you have to do this in the 90-minute thing. You have to look at the previous day or the day which just passed by, and when you're about to sleep, you're just going to think about what you did in every single hour of the day. Like, this is where the first rule also comes in to help. So you just look at what you were doing the whole day, right? And you're going to say like, fuck yeah, I did this right. Fuck yeah, I achieved that. But then, oh fuck no. This is where I fucked up, right? And you just have to look at every single action you took, whatever you can remember. And then you're just going to say, that was good. That was bad. I have to change that. I have to change this. Da-da-da, boom, 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 right? And as soon as you do that, you have this, at least you are conscious and very intentional about how you're going to plan out your next day, because you know where you fucked up last night or last whatever, right? Like, you just look at your past and you just say, yeah, this is what I think was good. This is what made me feel good, and I'm going to do more of that, and going to do less of what made me feel bad, right? And this applies to both long-term and short-term happiness and a feeling of achievement, I'd say, right? So, what does that leave me with? So, 3 core topics, which are block out hours, every single hour. So you have to be intentional and very clear about what you're going to do with every single hour of the day. And you need to know in advance, key, like, key, the Hindi part of me is getting out. So you have to know in advance, like, this hour I'm going to do this, and for this much time, and then I'll rest for this much time. By the way, rest is very fucking important. You cannot just work all day. As I said, you're just gonna burn yourself out. So you're gonna block your hours. Then the 90-minute rule. First 90 minutes of the day, you're very fucking productive. You're at a whole different brainwave state. So you are more suggestible to information, and you can just force yourself to work, which is a very good thing, in my opinion. And then third is retrospection, which would mark the end of your day, and you would be very proud of the man or woman, maybe. I don't think women will be watching my channel. I don't know why. So at the end of the day, you'll be looking at what you did the whole day, and then you're going to plan out the next day. The first rule.